Okay, so I literally just made the video of me 10 years later. That was today. Okay, now I'm chilling. I was just playing a game called Mod Nation. So fun. Really fun. I'm gonna start making tracks for my friends. What else could I ask for, bro? Look at this. Chalupa? Ooh, yeah. Guys, mission failed. I tried to eat this. I still have the burrito left. I try to eat this secretly because usually I do share with my parents and family. But there's days, you understand. There's days I'm like, I want it for myself. I'm hungry. My dad, I kid you, someone told him. My brother told him or something. He just, he walked in through that door and he went like, look at the mess. Look at the evidence. Look at all the evidence. I couldn't escape. And then my mom just tell me why my mom just texted me to get her Taco Bell. I'm cooked, bro. I'm good. In other news, we got my favorite part. Actually, yes, my favorite part. I'm weird. To eat this, I have to go taco, chalupa, burrito. I don't know why. Sometimes the nachos first. I didn't get nachos. I got the cinnamon twist, but I don't know why. I just there's something about this burrito. Something about it. I always eat it for last. Like look at how I'm holding it. Generally, Taco Bell is something else, dude. Can't handle it. Gotta say, the worst part isn't that I was found out. The worst part, you know this feeling. The worst part is when you have to walk back inside. You have to look at them, knowing you didn't share. Lord have mercy. Okay, this next section I'm talking, I'm gonna post it as its own video. So if you happen to see this already, then go ahead to skip to the time right here. Hello. Before I start, I want to say I'm not a prophet. I'm just some guy who happened to have dreams that which make me question whether they are signs given to me or if it's just dreams. And I could be going crazy. I don't know. But I just want to talk about this. Since this year, I have been getting more dreams that I have ever gotten. And I don't mean it as like I haven't dreamed at all like before I have. But there was a point like 2 years ago in 2024, no, even 2024 beforehand too. My mind would just it would have trouble sleeping. And so when I slept, I had a more likelihood chance to have dreams. Since post 2024, I've relaxed and calmed my mind and been able to be calm. And especially with recently being a follower of Christ, my mind has been very calm. I've been sleeping, I've been able to sleep very well. Like out of my entire family, I'm the one who could sleep through noise. Like not loud noise. Talk about like if they're watching TV, if they're talking, I could sleep through that. I don't know how, but I could. And so I haven't I rarely dream anymore. It's just I close my eyes, I rest, everything's black, and then after a while, I wake up. And so when I got these dreams, I'm like, I've never dreamed any of this stuff before, except maybe the last dream that I will talk about. But yeah, it's just they all captivated me so much. I'm like, I want to talk about it. I do. All right, enough babbling. We're gonna get to the dream. The first dream I want to talk about. This is what made me really go like, is this a sign? I walk outside of my house right here, and um, my house. I'm in California. My house is facing in the direction of the ocean. Okay, so I walked out. I turned, and then my body stopped. Like I stopped in my place, and I look up. I see this humongous. I'm talking about gigantic. I can't even. Humongous doesn't even describe this. It was a gigantic meteor, or just a rock. It looked like a rock meteor, whatever, just falling from the sky, and I couldn't move. I was speechless. My stomach dropped. I was thinking, I'm like, oh, what? Where's my family? Where's my mom? For some reason, I knew my mom was inside. That was the weird thing. Only my mom I knew was inside the house. I don't know where my brother was. I don't know where my sisters were. I don't know where my dad was. It's just my mom. And I'm watching this huge rock, like bigger than a mountain, way bigger than a mountain, just slowly falling down. And I noticed, I'm like, okay, where is this thing gonna land? And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, is it gonna land in the ocean? And as it's falling, I'm like, yeah, that's gonna land in the ocean. And then it's as if, so, and there was a, okay, yeah. Uh, Sorry, I'm all over the place. I was looking at it, and the building in front of me, it was like the rock went, so this is the building, this is the rock. It went past down it. I'm like, okay. I'm preparing myself for like impact or anything, the earth shaking, anything. But then next, it looked as if someone grabbed this rock and just went like, I think there was no hand, but the rock went back up. It went back up to the sky, as if it was telling me this isn't gonna, as if it was like saying, oh, this is gonna happen. I just want to show you what's gonna happen. Like I was I was like, well, where's it going? Where's it going? And but then as it went up, I noticed pieces of this rock were falling off, and it started destroying everything in my neighborhood. Just everything, hitting houses. I didn't hear anyone screaming, so it was just me and my mom. But then I look up again, and I see there's a rock falling onto my house. And I'm like, oh no, my mom's in there. But before I was able to get in, the rock hit my house. I walked in and I woke up. Another thing I forgot to mention. This is very important to what I'm gonna describe next. The lighting, it was like, imagine an eclipse, but sort of full eclipse. Like, not where it's to the point where it's like more dark in the sun, but imagine the sun and then the moon. It's like this is a bad representation, but just imagine this is the sun, this is the moon. So the moon's like, it's like not fully covering it, but it's almost there. That was the lighting in my dream. I woke up, I was like, the first thing on my mind I go to, I'm like, that happens in Revelation. That was the first thing that goes to my mind. I'm like, did I just get shown what is going to happen? And will I be living? That was my first thing. I'm like, am I gonna be living through this? 'Cause I was just so confused. I was just like, I had so many questions. But then I was like, no, I gotta calm down. Gotta calm down. If this is a sign, of course, I told my parents, I'm like, hey, look, like I had this dream. And, even they were like, oh, maybe it is a sign. You never know. I would still like to read the part of Revelation that is this. It's during the Lamb breaks the first six seals. So chapter 6 of Revelation. It's chapter 6, verses. We start on verse 12 and we end at verse 14. It says, I watched as the Lamb broke. I watched as the Lamb broke the sixth seal, and there was a great earthquake. The sun became as dark as black cloth, and the moon became as red as blood. Then the stars of the sky fell to the earth like green figs falling from a tree shaken by a strong wind. The sky was rolled up like a scroll, and all of the mountains and islands were moved from their places. Now, obviously, there's a couple things in this that did not happen in my dream. Most notably, the earthquake. I live in California. for years they've been saying, "Oh, the big one's coming. The big one's coming." The big one's gonna come when this happens. All right, that's the first thing. But there was no earthquake in my dream. It was just the huge rock in the sky. Now, the reason I think it could be related to this is because of the second half. The stars of the sky fell to the earth. Obviously, we talk about how stars are planets. So what if what I saw when that rock was going back up was that could again I'm not sure, but it could be that those are the stars in the sky that is talking about. Because in Revelation, there's two moments that are similar like this. One is this one, the one I just read, and another is during the seals. No, seals or trumpets. Let me see. Trumpet. But this one opened. What it says here. It's a chapter 9 verse 1. Chapter 9 verse 1 through 2. Then the fifth angel blew his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen to earth from the sky, and he was given the key to a shaft of the bottomless pit. When he opened it, smoke poured out as though from a huge furnace, and the sunlight and air turned dark from the smoke. That's different. That's obviously, we're not there. But yeah, and obviously when John wrote this, it's John, right? Okay, let's go ahead. Yeah. When John wrote this, he they didn't have any word for meteorite. They didn't have any word for like UFO, all that. He only saw it what he knew. A star from the sky, a huge rock from the sky. That's a star to him. So would it be crazy of me to say that I saw what is going to happen when the Lamb breaks the sixth seal? I don't know. Again, I'm not here to be like, oh, this is gonna happen now. This is gonna happen. No, I'm just here to talk. I just want to talk about it. I want to talk about this stuff to people because I'm very passionate about you know uh, trying to help as many, at least for people I know, just bring them to Christ because this is truly the way to live. Just following Him, believing in Him. That it's changed my life. I think that's all I want to talk about this dream. If I happen to get a lot of views on this, I would love to see what like you guys say about all these, cause I love talking. I love talking about this stuff. All right, let's get into my second dream. I wrote it here. This one, okay, yeah, this one happened recently. All these happened recently, actually, which is weird. In a month, I didn't even think about that in a month. So the meteor dream happened however long ago. I do not remember. These next dreams, I have not read the Bible enough to be like, oh, maybe this is that, maybe this is that, or maybe they're just nothing. Okay, or maybe they're just nothing. But this next dream, this one got me. Okay, so from what I remember, I'm gonna go off my little dots here. I was at the hospital. I was at a hospital, and I was walking upstairs. Looking up the stairs. Then when I got to the top, I turned and I saw two cradles. I believe that's what they're called. I don't know what they're called in the hospital or anything, but they're two cradles where they keep the babies. There was two babies, two like newborns, and I started walking up to them. And then the moment I was like 5 feet away, let's generalize, 5 feet away, everything black. Just no lights, darkness. And then a TV switches on. And I look at the TV and it's like some news reporter, but lady, I don't understand. I can't hear what she's saying. But she looks very distressed and is very worried, and she has an umbrella. But and I assume what she's saying, or at least what I assumed she was trying to tell me or tell us, was that it has been pouring for days. The rain has been nonstop. That's what for some reason, I feel like she was saying that. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but my heart and soul just tells me that's what she was saying. Because then the next moment, I'm at like the front of my house. I'm like inside my house, like right before I open the door. I was there. I opened the door, and I hear. Not only do I hear waves from my right ear, but I also see like waves of the of water, just as if a flood was about to start. But then that's not even the weirdest thing. The weirdest thing is I then heard a growl, like this unnatural growl. I if I could if I was able to replicate that growl sound I heard, no, oh my god, it freaked me out. So I turn and I see this little dog that first I guess I had with me the whole time. And I this was the first time I heard myself speak. I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I grab him and I touch his body because he was like this in a backpack for some reason. And I touch his body and I felt this. It was oh, this dog was as hard as a rock. Like I couldn't move his skin. I couldn't, you know how dogs are like usually. They got fluff and all that. He did not feel like that. It felt unnatural. And I look at this dog's eyes. Its pupils were so big that you could barely see on the outside of their pupil. The white rim is so tiny you could barely see it. All I got freaked out in this dream. I put the dog outside, and then I woke up. I don't know. See, when I woke up to this, I I don't know. I just didn't know what to think. I was like, is this a sign? Like, what could this be? What doesn't help is that I was sick. I was sick, and this was either a Saturday or I feel like it was a Sun. It was Sunday. No, it was Saturday. No, it was Sunday. Cause the previous day I was like, oh, I hope I get better, and I went to sleep, like the worst it was on that day. So I woke up. Obviously, I was sick. So I'm like, could it have been because I was sick? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Just but my thing is, I feel like the rain and the flood, that's Noah. That's literally Noah. And I don't know if, again, I don't know if I was being told something by God, warning me or something. And, and what didn't help is that later, that same day was the day Japan got a tsunami warning. So I'm like, was he trying to warn me about that? I'm like, I don't know. Like, what could any of this mean? And like two babies? Like two newborns? What does that mean? I know, obviously, in Revelation, or whenever again, I haven't gone far into it. I'm sorry. So if anyone wants to correct me, please go ahead. I'm still new. I'm still brand new to this. But I know in somewhere, Jesus mentions before he returns, the earth will have growing pain. Will have a pains like a mother giving birth. So I don't know if those two babies are representative of there's already been two birth pains, and more are coming, such as like the flood and the animals may turning. But I don't think there's anything in end times or anything in the Bible that says the animals would turn on the humans. That's my second dream. I don't know what else to say. This is the one. This one and the fourth one, actually no, all of them stumped me. The first one not, but two to four have stumped me, and I just wish. Why does it have to be so hard? I know he's testing our faith, but please. Yeah, I would love to hear anyone just comment on that. Just if it sounds familiar, go please by all means. All right. Well, let's get to the third one. This one, I barely remember. Barely. It barely was in my head. I wrote these down yesterday, And I was like, oh yeah, I had that dream. It was so strange. I also forgot to write the symbol that I was going to show you. I'll just take a screenshot of it. I've drawn it on my laptop. But okay, so I saw three men or statues. I don't know, but it was a desert. Let me put this out for you. So I'm standing here, right? There's a desert, like all desert, and there's three men or statues. One, two, three, and no, yeah, in a triangle. And so, but each of them randomly turn like keys. So this one turned and it goes up and it goes somewhere. This one turned, it went up and somewhere. Then the third one turned up somewhere. And then I look down and I have this piece of paper with a little symbol. I'm gonna draw the symbol and put it up. But the symbol is an S with a little dash through it. Now I searched it up. I searched up if there's any symbol like this. I'm actually gonna let me scoot you. I'm actually gonna search it up again. Yeah, see when I search it, nothing comes up. See, look, the what I saw, it kind of looked like this one. But yeah, but now okay, those are those. But now I'm gonna draw the one I remember. It was literally straight down the middle, kind of like the last example I showed you. It was just an S, boom, straight down the middle. And then I woke up. That was a weird thing. I woke up right after, as soon as I saw that symbol, just in an instant. And what didn't help was when I looked at the symbol, it was like my mind was telling me, "Hey, you can't see that," like because it was going black. It was like that feeling where your mind is trying to make you forget about it, but you don't want to forget about it. And then when I woke up, I was like, I could barely remember it until yesterday. Yeah, that one's super short. I don't know if there's anything related about like three. I know three kings, three statues, anything turning of keys. It's this one was really strange because I kid you not, when they turned, they went up and then they went somewhere far. I don't know where, but they went somewhere far. We'll get on to the last one. This one I just had a couple days ago. I think it was yesterday. No, it was 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I had this dream. Now, this one is very, very likely to just be a dream, and I'll explain why when I get to it. Now, I have had dreams. Again, I'm in California. I have had dreams where California has had a tornado. These have been, I would say, the scariest dreams I've ever had, even with the meteor dream. They're like hand in hand. Because I've seen, if those of you who live in tornado areas and who have seen tornadoes, I've only seen tornadoes through video. I would be so scared. Like they look cool, yeah, but it's like they cause a lot of destruction. And I live in Cali. If you know Cali, we are cooked if we have a tornado. Like we're dead. Like that's it. We're dead. I've had him before. This time though, oh my! This time was like extreme. I was walking down. No, I was in a car. I was in a car with a friend, and we were coming down like train tracks. We were coming down a street that had train tracks right next to it. In my view, I saw four tornadoes just just there. Just there. And I think at one point we got chased by one and then we found shelter. It was really scary. It was really scary. Um yeah, so then after that I was like, okay, I got home, I'm gonna relax. Then I was actually in here. I was in my garage and I was with two of my very closest friends. I consider them my best friends. We were chilling here. And let me tell you, the feeling, I've never had this happen. The feeling I had in this dream was dread, sadness, and feel like I lost something. Feel like something happened to me in this dream that I don't know about. and I was feeling all these emotions. It was strange. Yeah, I was right here. I was literally I say literally a lot. I'm sorry. I was standing like this, and they. I apologize. I was standing like this, and they were sitting there. One was sitting on my guitar amp, and one was just standing there. And then I look outside, and then there was another tornado. I'm like, okay. I'm like, bro, I really hope like your family's safe and all that. I was just talking with them, and then we see if it's safe. I'm like, okay, it's safe. This is the part. This next part. This is the reason I feel like it is a dream, but I'm gonna go a little crazy. Yeah. So we walk outside, and then instead of turning left to go towards to like walk around my house, I turn right. I turn right, and I look up in the sky, super far away. I see a Category 5 tornado forming with lightning. But then, as the lightning kept going, this huge bright light started shining in the middle. This is hold on, no, this isn't what you think it's gonna go. It started shining in the middle, and I kid you not, Godzilla and King Kong. I'm not joking. They fell from the earth, and for some reason, out of character for me and my friends, we start clapping. I'm gonna get back to this. Don't worry. But yeah, we start clapping for like yeah Godzilla, and in my like sleeping brain, I'm like, why am I clapping to this? Like I did watch Godzilla X Kong last like when it came out, but I'm not like a huge fan of these characters. Whoa, sorry for the weird cut and sorry for the quality being bad. I ran out of storage on my phone. We're gonna continue. Yeah, again, I apologize for the quality. I can't do anything about it. Okay. I'm not a huge Godzilla X Kong fan. I'm just like, yeah, if someone invites me, I'll go watch it. I went to watch it with my dad and brother. The only reason I did was because I'm like, oh, you know what? It's a boys' night. My older brother was working, so I'm like, yeah, I'll go watch it with you guys. And that's the only reason. So it was very strange of me to be like clapping for these characters. Okay, this next part, literally, I just didn't even need that much left. This next part, so my friends, they leave to go home. And then I start walking around my neighborhood. And I see so many people injured and maybe even dead. But my mind, I guess because my mind was like maybe holding back from trying to experience this yet, or maybe didn't want to see it like at that moment. I was like looking, I was like this the whole time, just looking down at the ground. But I could see from the corner of my eye just so many people hurt. If again, maybe dead. And it made me sad. And then after that, I woke up. And again, I was like, was that a dream? You know, was he trying to tell me something? What was he trying to tell me? Now, as for the tornado stuff, I feel like that's going to happen. I feel like California is going to get a tornado soon. Maybe in a couple years or so. Because looking by how our weather has been, very bipolar, just unpredictable. And one time there was almost a tornado. It wasn't a full one, but it was a little funnel. I truly believe California will someday get a tornado. Other than that, let's get to the big elephant in the room. Freaking Godzilla and King Kong. Why were they there? This was the part where I went like, yeah, this has to be a dream. It has to be. But then it cuts to people on dead and hurt in the street. I'm like, what could this mean? And I thought about it. I'm like, why? If like, okay, if this is God showing me the future, why is he showing me Godzilla and King Kong? And here's where my little crazy theorist mind gets into play. Okay. I searched up when King Kong Godzilla is going to come out. The next one is coming out next March. And I thought about it. I'm like, why was it that instantly when me and my friends saw it was Godzilla and King Kong, we started clapping. I'm like, could it be that he's trying to tell me during this time that it will be big, like this movie will be big. It will be a distraction for for something that's gonna happen during that time, or could it be like, look, you see this? See how you're clapping? Don't get distracted by this stuff. You need to pay attention. It could be that. That's where my little crazy conspiracy like mind goes to. But truly, as I've said this whole time, I do not know. I wish I had answers. I genuinely do wish I had answers. But I'm making this video for people to see it, people to talk about it, maybe share it. Who knows? Who knows? But I really just wanted to talk about this because it sucks keeping it in. I do have one of the friends in the dream. I do talk to him about this stuff. And so sometimes I just like wish I could talk to this stuff about, because I feel like if I talk to my mom about it, she's gonna tell me to be quiet. My dad, oh, he loves this stuff. But if I talk to my mom about it, or like my theories, what I think it is, she's gonna be like, "You need to relax." But yeah, those are my dreams. Again, just that's all it is. I'm just here to talk. If this happens to gain traction, again, please leave comments. Leave your dreams that you've had. Any prophecy, just stuff. Because at the end of the day, we're people. We're humans. We're not God. I'm not God. You're not God. The God is the Almighty, sitting up there, waiting patiently for the perfect time. And while He does, He's allowing all of us the chance to go to His Son, Jesus Christ, because He sacrificed Himself on the cross for us. So, and that is, I will always be grateful for that. That's the main thing here. We could be talking about this. Is it scary? Of course. But let me tell you something. I'd rather, if these situations do happen my lifetime, in our lifetime, I'd rather die in those moments knowing Jesus has me than die in those moments telling myself, I wish I had more time. And that's the biggest thing here. Repent now before it's too late, because genuinely, we are living. I truly believe. Let me bring it back up. I personally believe we are in the first half of the six seals. That's my thing. I believe it. I could be wrong. Again, I could be wrong, but I personally believe it. You know what? I wasn't gonna read it. I'm gonna read it for y'all. So I'm sorry, my screen goes blank. Okay, I'm gonna read the first three. I'm not gonna read four. Okay, so chapter 6, verse 1. As I watched, the Lamb broke the first of the seven seals on the scroll. Then I heard one of the four living beings say with a voice like thunder, "Come." I looked up and saw a white horse standing there. Its rider carried a bow, and a crown was placed on his head. He rode out to win many battles and gain the victory. Now, I think this happened before. Uh, it's very hard to tell what this is exactly referring to. I assume it's war, and obviously it's going to be war in the Middle East. It's not going to be here. It's going to be war over there in Israel. And I assume this is talking about beforehand where it's like, oh yeah, we prospered and we're winning many wars. And the reason I think that, which I will get to it in the second, in verse 3. Next one. When the Lamb broke the second seal, I heard the second living being saying, "Come." Then another horse appeared, a red one. Its rider was given a mighty sword and the authority to take peace from the earth, and there was war and slaughter everywhere. This could be. See, this one's hard, because if it's talking about modern day, I think it could be referring to what happened between Gaza and I already forgot. Sorry, I'm bad with this. It happened a while ago, but what happened in 2022, I believe. That's what I think. I personally think this is referring to. Again, could be wrong. People probably thought during World War II or World War One, oh, this is it. This is it. Like, again, could be wrong. I'm just a man. All right, the next seal. When the Lamb broke the third seal, I heard the third living being say, "Come." I looked up and saw a black horse, and its rider was holding a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard a voice among the four living beings say, "A loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay. And don't waste the olive oil and wine." I don't know if y'all have seen these prices. I don't know if it's just us in America. I'm gonna assume not. Everything is. I'm gonna assume this is like where we're at right now. Or maybe actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep reading. But when I read this, I was like, could we be in this part of the Revelation? Because that's it, the first thing. It's what it sounds like. The first one, there was peace. There's been peace. Peace in a general term, but it could have the second seal could have been broken at any time. That's the thing. That's the thing about this one. It could have been broken any time. So that one we don't know. This one though, I truly believe this one is now because of how expensive everything is. How just like it's hard to just live nowadays. So many people struggle to just live just basic living. It's hard. I can't even find a job. I can't even find a job to afford anything. It's very hard. It's very difficult now. I'll read the fourth one. Now this is where I'm like, oh, maybe we are, cause it says, when the lamb broke the fourth seal, I heard from the when the lamb broke the fourth seal, I heard the fourth living being saying, "Come." I looked up and saw a horse whose color was pale green. Its rider was named Death, and his companion was the grave. These two were given authority over 1/4 of the earth. Oh, no, wrong one. To kill the sword and famine and disease. To kill with the sword and famine and disease and wild animals. Okay, I was thinking of the next one, not this one. This was famine. This one is also hard to tell, because it says 1/4, and that's a lot of people. And so I know in some places there is famine happening. I have seen that. I got to this one, I was like, possibly, I don't know. The fifth seal, here we go. This is the one where I was like, okay, we might be here. This is the one I was talking about. When the Lamb broke the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of all who had been martyred for the word of God and for being faithful in their testimony. They shouted to the Lord and said, "O sovereign Lord, holy and true, how long before you judge the people who belong to this world and avenge our blood for what they have done to us?" Then a white robe was given to each of them, and they were told to rest a little longer until the full number of their brothers and sisters, their fellow servants of Jesus, who were to be martyred, had joined them. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with the news, let me tell you, a ton of people in Nigeria have been martyred. And while this is, and I don't know, I haven't. Oh yeah, I believe in. Oh, I don't know what country, but I don't know what place, but it's a Muslim dominated place. I saw clips where they were killing Christians. They were publicly executing Christians. When I read this, I'm like, okay, I think some of the seals have been opened. I truly do believe that some of the seals have been opened. Whether that's true or not, I just have to, we just got to pray. Got to look to Jesus. We got to pray, because we all know how this ends, right? Say it with me. We win in the end. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would give up my life for Jesus than let this world have me. I would. Because what the gift that Jesus and prospering with the Lord, the gift that it has in the end is so much greater than what this world has to offer. It's so much greater. Well, yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. I didn't expect to end up reading this, but but like I said, I love talking about this. It's one of the most interesting things, because especially now, since this year has started, oh yeah, oh yeah, the people are waking up. People are waking up. You know, even if some of those people are falling back into their old ways, people are waking up. That's a matter of fact. They're waking up. Well, thank you for watching. May God bless you, and I hope that if you don't follow Christ or believe in Jesus Christ, I truly hope and pray that you someday you come and see the truth. Because if you see this world, a world without God, just brings destruction to not only yourself but to everyone else. Okay. Well, thank you. Have a good day. It is April 30th, I think. Yep, it's April 30th, end of the month. Nothing, I'm barely gonna have footage for this month, but nothing really happened this month. Nothing really. Actually, not true. I started a new channel. I basically just rebranded a already existing channel. And I made it into a Reddit stories channel. I'll put it like corner or in the description, whatever. Yeah, I made it a Reddit stories channel, and I feel good about it. I feel like this time I feel like it'll go somewhere because people love listening to Reddit stories. And the first two videos did well with views. They got first one got 530 something. Second one got over 600, I think 608. Third one not so much. The fourth one I just released, it currently has 35 views. The previous one has 25, which I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm learning. I'm trying to figure out like what catches people's attention, and you know, it just takes some getting used to it. That's all it is. You get to learn what people are gonna be attracted to, because people, even if like someone just randomly clicks it, they're gonna leave it. There's a chance they could leave it in the background, and that's my kind of my goal, to have like the views be like, oh, if someone just wants to click it and listen to the video in the background. That's my goal. Yeah, I feel good about that channel. Other than that, nothing happened this month at all. I guess I could just talk about my day. I haven't done much. It's been a random day, honestly. Did a little music. I just went for a 30-minute walk like an hour ago. I'm gonna start getting into walks because your boy has been too lazy. I've been sitting too much. In a bit, I am gonna read some Reddit stories. I usually read like 5. If my max is 7. If I go more than 7, I can't. Like my mind refuses to continue. Yeah, I'm gonna start making some changes. I've been saying that for a while, but I genuinely do want to, because I don't want to get too into it, but I checked some personal thing for me. Not wait, there's something else. I checked it. I'm gonna just say my eating habits. That's an addiction. That's a really bad addiction, and I need to overcome that. Jesus will help me with that. I know He will. But yeah, that's April. It's only a couple. Oh, like a couple videos. um, is there anything happen? No, nothing much is gonna happen next month, aside from like graduations. Yeah, no, that's it. Nothing much is gonna happen. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to see. Just thought I'd show off the little studio I have here. Sorry about the shine. My camera is not the cleanest, and that I need to clean you. Yeah, literally, this whole ignore that. This whole thing, this is my studio practically. This whole garage is my studio. Been here since 1830, and now we're at the end of the day. Okay, this is the game I was talking about. I can't really. I have one hand, so I'm just gonna. Right now, I'm making a track for my friends. My friend introduced me. It's called Mod Nation Racers. It's actually surprisingly a really fun game. and I'm watching what's his name? Carl Jobs? Carl Jobs? Yeah, Carl Jobs. I'm watching that. That audio probably sounded bad. Anyways, April's done. Crazy. My life. Right now, my life is kind of boring. But I'm just grateful to be alive. That's the true thing here. I'm just really grateful to be alive. I'm trying to find a way to. I'm happy to have my family just wake up every day. That's what I'm grateful for. Well, if you did make it to the end, thank you. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next month.